Harvey Weinstein, but also Kevin Spacey, former President George H.W. Bush, several other names in the news in recent days and weeks about sexual harassment, rape, and various other allegations. The question, is it time for everyone to get a lesson in how to treat other people? Debjani Biswas joins us on the KRLD Newsline. Her book is called Unleash the Power of Diversity. What do we need to do?
So I think there's two pieces to this. One of them has to do with the individual, and that's what I would recommend, because over and over again they say prevention is the absolutely best tool. So, thinking through from the beginning whether you're physically removing yourself from the situation if possible, using nonverbals such as getting up and putting distance between you and the other person, saying the word no simply and forcefully without apologies, and then looking at the whole ecosystem. What are the higher level actions? Can you escalate to other people in power? Can you explain the consequences to the initiator? So I would say having a menu of no options and, really understanding that you have a say, and also the majority, the mainstream population in many of these cases, a lot of people apparently 20, 15, 30 years ago knew that things were happening. So it is the responsibility not just of the two people involved in that, whatever the situation is, but everybody else who is turning a blind eye really has to step up and say, something doesn't seem quite right here.
With the power issue in there, too, though, how does that factor in?
That is an excellent question. Now, if you look at what some of the people have said who said that they have been able to get away from it, the first thing I would ask is there a system in place where a person can complain to someone other than whoever that person is who was in power? So that is the first thing, whether it's in whatever kind of organization. Do you have safe spaces? Do you have resources where a person can reach out to you, and in many cases anonymously without fear of recrimination? So I would say we have to look at the systems that we've set up where there has to be some kind of recourse. That's the first thing I would say is, who are those safe spaces? What are those resources that people should have access to?
Quentin Tarantino has said that I knew enough and I should have done more, and I didn't. But others have not been as forthcoming. So society's roles for men and women, how does that factor into this whole thing?
Mitch, that is an excellent question. So if you look at what is socially permissible, as parents, I would say we really need to see the messaging that we're giving our children. If we are focusing on how pleasant and nice our daughters are and telling our sons how macho and strong they are, we are not training both the genders to be both strong and empathetic. And so this message starts right from what we say to our children, teachers, what we are telling our students. We really need to, as a society, it is time for us to step up for people in the mainstream and not to look the other way.
Debjani Biswas's book is called Unleash the Power of Diversity. It's 124 at KRLD.